Hey, it's Brad, and I'm about to do something on my property that I never thought I would do. And it's all my fault. So I'm currently standing in our main 2-acre food plot, and this long linear plot on the southern part of our property is the anchor for the deer movement that we see in the fall. Now, before we jump into what I'm going to be working on today, I want to talk about what was here before I put the food plot in. And this entire area was part of a larger pasture that the previous owner ran his cattle out into, where they fed for parts of the year. And that meant that the entire ground was covered with forageable material that even in the winter, when it either died or went into dormancy, there was still significant root structure underneath the soil. And that's significant because we have very hilly ground here in south central Iowa. I absolutely love it, but it has one significant risk, is that when we have heavy rainfall, we run the potential of erosion. In our first few years of owning this property, this area had drought, and so therefore we didn't see a lot of rainfall or precipitation as a whole. However, last year we had what was really considered to be an average year for rainfall, but we had several heavy rain events which really demonstrated the risk that our property held for erosion. To better help you see this, I'm actually standing at the higher end of part of our main food plot. And here I am at the bottom of the food plot. I walked about 60 yards, but the elevation went down 30 feet. So think about the path of water, it's gonna come down this way. So I use a no-till method for all of my food plots. And the particular process that I use, I learned from Jeff Sturgis. And I really encourage you to go check out all the videos he's made available where he gets into depth as far as what he does and all the details surrounding that. It's a super great resource, so I really encourage you to check that out. The reason that I love this process is because you do not need heavy equipment to put in food plots, which for a lot of us out there, it may be cost prohibitive to have massive tractors and discs and tillers. And to be honest with you, I do have a compact tractor that I use for multiple reasons, but I actually just use my UTV and a bag spreader to install all of my food plots. Now, you may find that an ATV will work for you, but regardless, if you have an ATV or UTV to spray herbicides for all the weeds to knock down and for you to get that seed to soil contact, and then having your ATV or UTV to culti-pack after you spread the seeds, you're gonna be good to go. My biggest challenge though with the no-till process on my land is what we've already seen. When we have that significant of a drop of elevation from one end of a food plot to the other, when we get a heavy rain and we have very little vegetation on the soil, you're gonna run the risk of what we already have here, and that is all these erosion grooves that have taken away portions of the food plot. And because we have at least a couple of months with the no-till method where we do not have any vegetation on the food plot, we have got to set up something. We're gonna try a hybrid way of dealing with this issue. So our plan is to till in 2 or 3 rows at the base of the food plot throughout the entirety of the plot, and that will smooth out the areas that we've seen the erosion and provide us with a really good seed bed and real smooth area. And then we're gonna come through with a culti-packer and we're gonna compress that down, followed by broadcasting all of the clover. The clover is gonna be serving as a year-round vegetation cover that's going to not only cover the ground, but the roots are going to be keeping all that soil in place in case we have significant rain events. Then I'll come back again after I broadcast the seed and we'll culti-pack one more time to make sure we have some good seed to soil contact. All right, enough talking about it. Let's get to work. All right, so now that we've wrapped up that entire process, I gotta tell you, there's something super satisfying about tilling that soil and seeing how smooth you can get that dirt. I really kind of miss that, to be honest with you. But the reality is, it isn't something that I probably ever will or want to do again. And here's why. Is because it helped us right now to reset the ground and it'll help us establish this clover. There's a lot of benefits to never tilling the soil. One of the guys that I've found to be super helpful is a guy by the name of Keith Berns, and he has a company called Green Cover Seed. I'm not sponsored. I'm just going to let you know he has an absolutely fantastic seminar about why it's so important to not till, and talks about all the biological reasons about it. I'm not an expert about it, so I'm not going to jump into it, but I hope you will check this out if you want to learn more about it, about the importance of what's going on below the surface. And I put a link below if you want to check that out. All right, so now that we're done with this, now we got to hope for some rain, hopefully nothing torrential that will, again, tear up the soil. It's kind of taking that risk, I guess, but we do need to get that moisture in here to get this clover grown, and we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to be out here hunting in a couple weeks for turkeys and looking forward to that, and hopefully it'll be grown enough that the turkeys will be interested in it. But either way, we really need to get this established, and I hope that you're looking at that established clover right now. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. Really appreciate it. We always have something that's going on here out in South Central Iowa, and I hope you will come back next time to watch Brad work.